Remember that emotion is energy in motion. It goes right into your auric field and manifests in your life as a sickness, accident, as well as hostility from others. It is Ra within you that is your internal fire and life force energy. When you give or keep degenerate thoughts, anger, fear, shame, and regret, you lower the frequency of your Ka and summon the consuming energy of Apep. Apep is a serpent that attempts to destroy the boat of Ra by attacking it and devouring it. He is the embodiment of death, hell, destruction, and annihilation. Fragmented parts of the self is like food for Apep. Self-hate and shame attract the energies of Apep, like moth to a flame, light. When the light is covered with moths, the light is eventually choked out. When you find yourself dwelling on fears or morbid thoughts, stay clear and see them being erased. The vibration of love, Mrt, will elevate the Ka and expand one's vibration frequency. And this activates the higher faculties of the brain and awakens divine cognition. All living and non-living things are part of the electromagnetic field. Everything around you and within you functions on a frequency. In other words, everything has its own level of rhythm and flow. This is what I mean by vibration, vibes. We suffer when our personal vibrations are out of harmony with a certain frequency. This would mean that something is out of order. Let's say that you have clogged up arteries from years of eating greasy foods and lots of cheese. What happens is the heart has to work harder to pump the blood through your body, which also slows down the flow of oxygen to your brain, dulling your senses. Not only will the mind lose its sharpness, but soon the internal organs are thrown off track. So, person's internal rhythm is out of whack and their thought process becomes off as well. Others will sense their disease state and say, this person has bad vibes. Our physical bodies operate as magnets that conduct electricity within the body. The tissues, along with the blood, conducts electricity in vital force. The brain sends electrical impulses down the spinal cord and throughout the body. Thought travels quicker than light speed. And light speed is 186,000 miles per second. However, if the spinal cord is severed, the brain will not be able to send messages beyond the area of the disconnection. Therefore, below that section of the body becomes paralyzed. The electrical nature of the body goes beyond the central nervous system. Some people radiate enough energy to actually interfere with radio transmissions, throw off television reception, and even interfere with household appliances. This is why there are times when you have to relocate yourself to different areas in the room because you were messing up the TV. You might also have known, or what also must be known, is that there are things as well as people around us that can distort your personal electromagnetic field, including the minds, which also operate on a level of subatomic intelligence. Like, for instance, energy can be absorbed to the bottom of the foot, that is, the feet. So there are people who actually go to sleep with the color TV set still playing, and if the bottom of their feet are facing the color TV, the deadly radiation will be absorbed to the feet and into the body. Not to mention, whatever movie or news being played on the TV at that time of night is being fed right into the subconscious mind of the victim. In fact, it is the exposure to positive ions emanating from the so-called modern technology that has contributed to the weakening energy levels of humans living within cities. Whenever the personal magnetic field is shaken up and distorted, the person is in danger of becoming ill, developing cancer, as well as psychologically imbalanced. Living a life of sustainability is ma'at. It is the key to the electromagnetic expansion of the personal and collective energy field. Okay, so a lot of times when people live in the city and they're constantly being exposed to household appliances, you know, it might be positive if they can go out into the wilderness or the forest by the lake and be exposed to negative ions. And this will actually bring more energy into their self and their being, their physical bodies, as well as the mental body. So we'll talk about that some other time. Let us keep in mind the dietary factors involved. In the West, a lot of people actually avoid eating leafy green vegetables and instead fill the body with all kinds of mucus-producing foods and junk. This is a mistake that so many Africans, that is, blacks, niggas, whatever you want to call yourself, They've gone away from the solarized diet of green vegetables because green vegetables get the nourishment directly from the soil as well as the sun itself. Through the process of photosynthesis, plants make their food from sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. In the green leaves of the plant, water combines with carbon dioxide and creates a sugar that becomes food for the plant. It is the chlorophyll in the leaves that trap and store solar energy. Photosynthesis means to make with light. The leaves of the plant work somewhat like solar panels and absorb the light directly from the sun. So green vegetables contain chlorophyll and alkali. Chlorophyll purifies the blood and rids the body of cell-damaging free radicals. Alkaline gives the body energy, keeps the body properly electrified, and increases brain capacity. The juices of plants is actually the blood of a star because chlorophyll has a similar make to hemoglobin. To eat green is to take in solar power. By eating plenty of fruit will aid in eliminating constipation, hardening of the arteries, and the buildup of impurities in the colon. One thing that you can do is take you a gallon of water for one day and put a tablespoon of chlorophyll in that water and just drink it. And you're going to notice that, it literally takes your breath away. So people that drink chlorophyll will have a decrease in halitosis and other body odors. The heavy consumption of acidic foods like sodas, greasy fried foods, and dairy products has led to major health problems among people of African descent. Without physical health, the spirit within cannot express itself properly. In this age, you must treat your body like the sacred temple that it is. In Kemet, desecration of the sacred temple is considered a great offense, and the same applies to your body temple today. You are the king/queen, and to run a kingdom, you must be physically fit. The body of the king has to be fit because the king was expected to lay down his life for his country in times of war. He had to be on the front line with his soldiers. When hunting, he would go for the most vicious of prey. You cannot rise any challenge with an unfit body and mind. In this age, information that was only known to the spiritual elite in the royal office is becoming common knowledge. In fact, alchemy is known as the royal secret. It was the body of the king that was used as the standard to develop the metric system. It is the nature of capitalism to teach you that you do not measure up. But once you understand that you are the living image of the divine, you become the king, queen, aka royal standard. Civilization was built with the measurement of the king's body. To be the king or the queen is to always strive for excellence. When taking on the character of Haru, we rise above the subjugation of mere bestial mind states and cultivate the healers and creators within our true divine self. We begin to come into our own power without giving our power away to other people and circumstances while becoming masters of ourselves. This gives access to even more ashe. As the living, we become touched by the sun, solarized. A solarized being can raise the vibrations with his or her presence and solarize surrounding individuals. She or he has become a living replica of the philosopher's stone. The wisdom teachings of Kemet teach that black people, aka Nubia, are the seed of Ra, as well as the people of Haru. Ra is Ankh-U-Keseneb, life, strength, and health. Ra-Un Neframin in his book Metanetter Volume 1 and 2 explains that Ra is the life force. A strong life force is the key to success and longevity in life. It is up to all of us to activate and cultivate, maintain and awaken Ra within ourselves. Such a state must be reached through transmutation, through self-purification, the purification of one's very being. In the tombs there were 4 canopic jars placed next to the sarcophagus of the deceased. These jars were sacred to the Mesu Heru, aka the 4 sons of Heru. Each one contained a sacred organ that helped in the internal alchemical process of elimination and regeneration.